right, welcome in. It's episode 41, the GOAT episode of Shippy and Grubes. I'm Shippy.
I'm Grubes.
And this goes out to Dirk Nowitzki and Dirk Nowitzki alone because nobody has ever worn the number 41 except for him.
Correct. It's literally retired before and after and during his career except for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. He's the only one that's ever, they reserved it before he was born.
They did.
For him.
They anointed him.
They anointed him. They said, you are the one, you are the 41, here you go. We got a lot of fun stuff to get into today. We came across a interesting discussion about calendars and group text that we've got later on in the show. We've got some more stuff from our King Jameis, and we've got a TikTok trend that's taking over the world that is extremely funny. But first, we got to start off with some sad news. Unfortunately, the Dallas Stars have been eliminated from the playoffs. They lost in 5 games to the Edmonton Oilers. Tough series. You really felt like, you had the incredible comeback in Game 1, and then Game 2 was definitely theirs. Mm-hmm. But Games 3 and 4, I really felt like could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I just feel like something with Edmonton and the Stars, where it's like the Stars and the Avalanche, we have their number. Mm-hmm. Right now, they just have the Stars' number, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but hopefully if we get back in the playoffs next year, we don't have to face Edmonton, because then I feel really good about our chances of winning the damn thing.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. But it's also like, they're really damn good. Like,
yeah, if they can stop being good, that would help us a whole lot.
Yeah. Or if we could just get McDavid or Draisaitl.
Yeah.
That'd be incredible. Maybe that's what Kevin Weeks was pointing out when he sent eye emojis randomly.
And an old picture of the AAC.
An old picture of the AAC and eye emojis, and he just put hashtag HockeyX. And everybody started freaking out because there's a lot of different things going around in Stars world. There's questions around the coaching staff and how things were handled. There's questions around certain players' availability, if they're going to be traded, if they're going to be re-signed. I think the Stars have 4 or 5 unrestricted free agents, none of which in Stars land are bigger than Captain Jamie Benn.
Yes.
Who, before the season started, said, hey, let's talk contract at the end of the season. We'll figure it out then, so they could be, they could make some roster moves and stuff. But all this uncertainty and just kind of weirdness surrounding the Stars. And then Kevin Weeks comes out with an eye emoji. So it happened to be the same night where I was leaving the Paint the Ice event. And I looked down, I was like, oh, he just posted a old picture of the AAC and is trying to stir up controversy. So I was like, let me confirm that the Paint the Ice event was tonight.
Yes.
And people showed up and painted the ice. And it looks fantastic. So
everything was great.
Everything was great.
No changes at the AAC, at least.
No changes at the AAC. The ice is still there. It might not still be there today.
I would assume not. It usually gets melted down pretty quick by our amazing ice crew.
Yeah, amazing ice crew, which we'll get to here in a second. They got their flowers from the NHL, which was really cool to see. But yeah, tough series, really. It's just
dude, we talked about it last time. Playoff hockey is the most intense thing in sports, probably, because it's just every game is brutal.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of the Stars. I hope everyone still has good memories of the season. That's kind of where I always tend to go after a season that you make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because being a fan of the Texas Rangers for my whole life,
me too.
You appreciate just making the playoffs. I still remember in '96, the night that the Rangers clinched, we were at a 6th grade prom, and that's when, you should be focused on trying to find a girl to dance with and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And me and my friends all were able to huddle in the cafeteria or something around its tiny little TV watching the Rangers, clinch the AL West for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And so like I said, I tend to, reminisce a little bit more at the end of a season than being like, oh man, I can't believe, my team sucks.
Right.
Whether we make the playoffs or not, or when you make the playoffs, look, we had a chance. It's a crapshoot. It's not always the best team that's going to win, too.
Yeah.
It's, players get hot, players get cold, players get hurt, players come back that you don't expect to and play well. It's just or don't play well.
Right.
There's a lot of factors, and if it was just the best team wins every year, they wouldn't even need to have the playoffs.
Right. Well,
The Dodgers would just already have the World Series this year, and they might still.
yeah.
But they still got to work for it.
Sure. And that's the thing is, though, like, after watching this series, I feel like with all the additions and the injuries and working Miro back into the mix, and then you bring up Petrovic and Bischel's playing big minutes, like, the Oilers, I feel like, just were the better team. Like,
Yeah.
And it's frustrating, though, because it's like there's some block with the Stars and Stuart Skinner where it's like they just could not solve him. Like, the puck would get, it was like bouncing off people near the net, and like some magnetic force appeared and like would keep the puck out of the net. And it was just, I don't know if it was puck luck or what, but he just turns into a totally different goalie when he plays the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, and there's some players that seem to be like that. Like, again, for me, baseball is my sport, so that's where I'm most comfortable making analogies. But like, it always felt like Vladimir Guerrero was kicking our ass, especially when he was with the Angels and playing us all the time.
Yeah.
Tim Salmon with the Angels tended to kick our ass.
Yeah.
Like, there's guys that for whatever reason just play. Kyle Seager, Corey's brother, the Mariner, like, he annihilated us every game. And, he was still a really good player otherwise, but it was another level against the Rangers for whatever reason. I don't know what the Rangers did to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he liked playing at the old ballpark, whatever, but sometimes that just happens, and for whatever reason, Skinner just, like I said, he turns into Superman against the Stars, because he's a very good goalie.
Right.
But he's also not that great all the time.
Well, and it's crazy, like, you defeat Hellebuck in the previous series, the best goalie who's about to win, I think, his third straight Vezina.
Yeah.
And then you run into Stuart Skinner, and like that's supposed to be the one weak spot for this team, and all of a sudden he's making incredible saves. I mean, hat tip to the Oilers. I mean, they were the better team. Like,
you can't even be mad. And watching McDavid, like,
dude,
it sucks when it's happening against your team, but holy crap, like, he's still just leaps and bounds, just a different player than everybody else. Not best at every single thing, but just so different, I guess. He's kind of like, again, a baseball analogy, like a Shohei Ohtani, where it's like there's a lot of really, really great players in the NHL, but McDavid just looks different on the ice.
He looks like he's playing a different sport. Like,
yeah, it's like, when I got to work some Mavs games and got to see LeBron in person, like, he just bounces differently on the court. There's just something different about the way some of these guys play, where they're not always going to be the MVP every year, but you're watching something special.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, in Game 5, there was a puck that, I don't know if it hit a board or a player, and it just like popped out of the zone behind Rope Hintz, who was trying to get back, and he just outskated him, grabbed it, and just scored. Like, just little things like that. He turns
just
into
being that
goals.
ready for stuff.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, so
I hate him, but I'm impressed by him.
Yeah, I hate playing him.
There you go. Thank you.
I definitely hate. It's like,
he's probably a really good person.
It's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't have any reason to believe otherwise. It's like Popovich, like we were talking about.
Oh my
like,
gosh, yes.
Those guys, it's just like they're just so tough to beat, especially during the playoffs. So the Stanley Cup Final is a rematch of last year. I think it's going to be really entertaining. I think the Oilers are better, but I also think the Panthers are better than they were last year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Fun of it.
And now that the season's over, I can shave my playoff beard.
Yeah, I was curious when I saw you walking up or pulling in, like, what your beard situation was going to be, and you got out of the car. You still had the beard going. I just got rid of mine a couple days ago. Got, cleaned up my hair a lot.
Good.
Well, I still got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the playoff beard, it's a blessing because that means that your team is still playing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I got to say, especially with hockey, it's happening pretty much on, like, right on the verge of summer starting.
Right.
So you are, at least for me, I was definitely ready, like, to get things chopped off and trimmed down because I am very cold-blooded or warm-blooded, whichever one it is that prefers the cold.
I think warm-blooded.
I think so, but me and Darcy always call each other cold-blooded because that's just what we say.
I like it.
But apparently, cold-blood or warm-blooded is the right term. But yeah, like it's also nice just feeling like my hats fit again because
dude,
I definitely wear hats a lot, and I let the hair flow every now and then, but I'm just so used to putting on a hat that it's been nice. Like I've had to the adjustable ones I've had to like clip back a couple ticks,
yeah,
and tighten them up a couple ticks, and then feeling more comfortable in fitted hats now. Like
yeah,
this one's a fitted hat.
Is that the All-Star hat?
Yeah,
nice.
But yeah, where it's just I was very ready for the Stars season to be over just from a comfort standpoint.
Yeah,
but I'm very sad that I'm not still rocking the playoff beard.
Yeah, I am ready to lose all this off my face. Like it'll feel nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish it was still going, just for the fact that would mean that we were still playing and we were in the Stanley Cup final.
Yes.
So, I'm going to get it trimmed after this.
Oh,
because I don't want to do it myself. Because when it's like this, like there's
there's
so much.
No way.
I can't see. I'm like, let me just
let someone else deal with the bird's nest.
Yeah. You guys take care of this. Now, we mentioned the Ice Crew a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a really cool feature done on them, about an 8-minute feature through the NHL. It features our friends Max and Chip and Cole and the rest of the Ice Crew and just all the work that they do. And this is funny because this is something that they've never told me about. We talk about superstitions on this show. And I had not a superstition, but one of the fans that sits around me, Pete, he would bring me popcorn with M&Ms in it.
Nice.
Well, I started eating that, I think during Game 7 of Round 1 against the Avalanche. I started eating it in the third period when we pulled off that incredible comeback.
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, dude,
you got to
keep bringing me popcorn and M&Ms. Well, in this case, the Ice Crew has a different but even more awesome superstition involving a fan as well, bringing them some food.
Several years ago, we talked just a random stranger into buying us hot dogs, handed us one of them, and as it touched from their hand to ours, we scored, and we came all the way back and won the game. And we all said the hot dog saved the day. If we're still down a goal in the second period, if you'll buy a hot dog for us, we'll trade you a signed stick for a hot dog. Sign it.
Sign it?
Yeah. Hey,
should we get the whole crew?
He's signing the stick right now, so we're getting it ready for you.
That might be the most valuable signature on there.
All right, we got everybody to sign your stick. That is one heck of a deal you have made there, my friend. There's your handy-dandy signed stick. Hey! All right, here we go. Ready? We got a hot dog, everybody! Hey! We're going to win now. Several years. That felt like a warm hug.
What did that? The goal?
Yeah.
You get one more, the roof falls off this place, right? Yeah.
This was the most fun Western Conference final.
The roof blew off this place, and you could just feel the momentum change. It was fantastic.
That's the one, guys. That's the one that's got us to win right there. Hey, his parents stuck around afterwards and were like, does that happen every time? Like, anytime we get a stranger to buy us a hot dog, we win for some reason. So it's awesome.
So
I love Max.
Dude, me too. I actually was hanging out with him at the Paint the Ice thing yesterday, and it was just cool, like, because I walked down during Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. I saw, like, a camera crew following him and stuff. And then so I ran into him later. I go, "What's up, movie star, rock star?" And he kind of laughed and was like, "Who told you to say that?" I was like, "Nobody told me to say that." I was like, "I see you with all these cameras around you." But they did a really cool feature on them. It's on YouTube. Go check it out, where it talks about how he goes and they can like use thermal, like they use like a thermal thing to see the ice and like what part needs to be colder and which part's slushy and like what colors represent what. Like it was really cool. I knew that they had a lot of stuff going on, or like a lot of stuff they did, But it was pretty cool just to kind of see, in a short video, kind of their day-to-day life.
Yeah, and the science behind it and all that. Like, it's not just, well, we're just going to ride the Zamboni during intermission and
We're going to go
hope for the
ice.
best. Yeah, like, and, you see them, like, spraying the water into the, holes where the posts go and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure it's a reasonably precise amount or precise enough. Like,
Everything they do is like an exact science. Like it's down to, it's I can't even really properly explain it all. But they've tried to explain it to me. And it's way above my pay grade. I'm like,
I feel that
my eyes just kind of glaze over, and I'm like, yeah, but the ice looks good, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, no one really seems to slip.
No,
so that's good.
and they get like they're graded by the teams and everything after each game. So
Oh wow, I
the
didn't know that.
NHL, it goes back to the NHL. So you have to keep that standard up. I don't know in terms of like what rinks are best or worse at keeping the ice ready, but for them to do this in Texas, which is not a traditional climate, hats off to them. They work like crazy. And I was talking to them, and they're all definitely looking forward to some time off. As much as they want to keep playing, they're looking forward to a little time to decompress.
No, that's awesome. I'll definitely check out the video because, and for me, just any chance to see those dudes, even if it's not officially in person, just seeing that group, like, they're fun as hell, they're awesome, they're funny, and they bust their butts every day to make the AAC awesome.
Yeah. So it's... those are the things that when you see what we do, like, those are like the kind of family relationships that we have behind the scenes with everybody. And it's, everybody works like crazy to make sure that you guys have the best experience possible at the American Airlines Center or at Globe Life Field or wherever you're at. There's a team of a lot of people that are working their butts off. So it's really cool to see people like Max and Chip and the rest of the ice crew who don't normally get a bunch of shine for all the work they do to get a shout out and to get a feature like that.
Yeah, it's not just Shippy and Jersey and Jeff K and Selena.
No.
There's a lot of people making things happen, and, everyone contributes a ton, and, so getting to see those guys get the shine is awesome.
And now somebody is getting some shine from basketball because he decided to speak on hockey.
Man.
Tim McMahon.
Former YDC guest.
Probably
in the future, too, but might be on probation for a moment.
Well, and here's the thing. I interned at ESPN, and I met Tim through there. I'm very good friends with Landry Locker and with Ben and Skin, with all these people who have worked with Tim McMahon, and I understand that he's a really quirky guy, and, like, you don't really know what you're going to expect, but you also know that, like, he doesn't give a damn. Like, he's just got this, like, I'm me, this is what I'm doing, this is what I have to say.
This is what I feel, and but it's also not even what he feels, it's what he reports.
Exactly.
When it comes to his actual stories, some of this stuff, I think, obviously is more just his thoughts or trying to get a rise out of people. Because I do know that he's got a pretty, as you said, quirky sense of humor. Like, there are some people where they're kind of just entertaining themselves, or making sure that they're entertained first.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if people get it, they get it. If they don't, then I still got some attention, some clicks,
Right.
and all that. So,
and
I'm going for it.
And I was going to say that, too, is, like, he's very good at, like, his attitude is perfect for his reporting and for, like, the backlash or whatever that he gets from
he doesn't
fans
back down or anything.
coaches. Like, he's not scared of anybody. But he decided to randomly, when talking about the Pacers, to talk about the Dallas Stars, and he pissed a lot of people off.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I'll just tell you real honestly, like, Texas folks who are hockey fans, it's because they don't know anything about real sports.
Oh, my God.
Like, they don't know crap about football. They don't know crap about basketball. They don't know crap about baseball. And so
Toronto
like,
better not make it back to the finals anytime soon, because if McMahon is at the finals in Toronto, he's going to get taken down.
Hockey's like this newfangled hipster thing down here in Texas.
They've been there 25 or 30 years.
Okay, that's fairly newfangled to me. I was a teenager when they started bringing these stupid hockey fans.
Well, that was a long time ago, buddy.
Okay, well, I have not grown up since.
Which it is funny even thinking, Stars came here in 93. The Mavs only came here in 80.
Right.
It's not, and Rangers in 72. Cowboys in what, the 60s? Like, nothing's really that old.
It's all based
Things-
on your perspective.
Yeah. What if, compared to the Earth, what's KT's thing, 13 billion years,
Oh.
and we all
Yeah.
wound up here at the same
at the
time?
Same yeah. Yeah. Very. God, what's the word for that?
Esoteric.
Yes. Yes. And so, for me, I'm just like, maybe he just said this and wasn't expecting it to get clipped and put out there, but
Yeah.
also it's like,
He probably doesn't mind that it does.
right. And
Yeah.
that's the thing is I don't know if he is going for the Skip Bayless or whatever type thing where it's like, look, I'm an NBA reporter for ESPN. I don't give a damn about hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it came up when talking about it says Pacers roster construction success.
Yeah.
I don't know how this came up.
There are times where it feels like a Mad Lib watching clips of stuff because the lower third will be totally different than what's actually being discussed.
Right.
And you kind of get to try to figure out how the hell did they get there. I'm sure the same thing would happen if we tried to do lower thirds for our show.
Yeah. Oh,
Ashley
yeah.
would kill us,
Oh,
first of all.
Yeah.
But
Good
it's
luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with
You
that.
couldn't even do one of those RIP, but or I guess not RIP yet, but eventually the PTI
Oh yeah.
topic thing.
Yeah.
We have an idea of what we're going to talk about.
But we also don't count on ourselves to keep track fully.
No, we're just
It's like we literally have a document saying what we want to talk about.
right.
It's a suggestion.
Yeah, it's more there for just guidance.
There you go. Yeah.
We're just it's kind of like bowling with bumpers on.
Like we know that we're going to talk about this stuff in some way at some point.
Right. But the bowling lane is always changing in
Right.
terms of width. Sometimes it can get pretty wide.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we mentioned Landry Locker, and he has a very good relationship with Tim
Yes.
McMahon. They played basketball together all the time when Landry was here. We're really good friends at ESPN back when I was interning there. And he said a lot of people don't speak McMahon's sarcasm and take this stuff way too serious. And Mike Peasley followed up and said that's totally Timmy Mack. But that's what it goes back to of he just likes to take jabs at people, I think.
Yeah. Or
Especially when it's not reporting.
Right.
If it's not his job, which he takes very seriously.
Yes.
Again, I don't know how hockey came up when talking about the Pacers roster.
You know what? I would guess somehow comparing, it being a smaller market finals maybe.
Okay.
That's my guess. I don't
Okay.
know, but I feel like they would somehow have found a way to segue, and then Tim threw that out there.
Yeah.
and- yeah.
I'm just dude, we've had enough around these parts of just chaos over the last
Mhm.
decade.
It's tiring.
It's tiring. We're Dallas sports. We deal with the Cowboys
I was going to
all
say,
the time.
yeah.
Can we just have one? It's have you seen the thing that Wob? Is it Wob?
Oh, Worldwide Wob?
Yes, that guy. Worldwide
It's so
Wob.
unfair.
He does that thing. It's it's been this many days since unnecessary drama in the NBA,
Yeah.
and it'll go back down to zero. That's how I feel covering DFW sports. So,
Which, to our credit, we don't have any Cowboys stuff on the rundown today.
thank God. Speaking of unfortunate, the Washington Capitals sent an email out to their season ticket holders saying that next year would be Ovi's final season.
Man.
Which, first of all, what a way to break the news to all your faithful.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
guys,
to-
better get your tickets.
And maybe breaking it to Ovi. He's like,
yeah,
what?
Ovi's wait, what a minute? I was about to get tickets.
Yeah. It's like in MLB The Show where at some point, your creative player officially, just gets retired because they're too old.
Oh, do
no
they?
matter what. Yeah.
They just retire them?
When you get to 48 or something, it's just you've hit the age limit.
What if you
you're
still
done.
got something left?
I know. My guy was still hitting 50 home runs a season. It was
Oh,
down
wow,
from
so this is
7,
personal.
down from 100, but still.
This is personal for you.
It is.
So this happened on May 29th at 11:30 a.m. At May 29th at 11:54 a.m., this of one of many reports, but this one being from Yahoo Sports, breaking, the Washington Capitals announced that no decision has been made on Alex Ovechkin's future following the 2025-26 NHL season. An email was sent from an individual with the corporate sales department that mistakenly alluded to next year being Ovechkin's final year.
How does that happen?
So for me personally, what I think happened is it is going to be his last year. Everybody knows it except for the public, and one person didn't know they weren't supposed to tell everybody yet.
Yeah, like I could tell you that sort of thing happens because a few years ago when the Freak was first getting going, rumors were starting to swirl about, changes to the Eagle and all that. And one salesperson sent like a prospective client or maybe a current client, like, hey, this is what's about to happen, and named like literally all of us that were there on day one.
Yeah.
And it's like, we just stayed silent because that was our plan the whole time, was just don't say anything. Just once the station starts stunting and all that, still don't say anything. Like, I think, except for Reiner getting a video out with Reiner saying I'm back.
Yeah.
But even then, it was still up in the air what all was going on. But stuff like that happens because the more people that know a secret, the fewer people that know a secret.
Wow.
I know.
Dude, who said that?
Me.
I love it.
Put I think, what is it? Like, the only way to keep a secret between two people is one of them to be dead or something like that.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
Is that a Joe Mazzulla quote?
That might be. If it involves death, it's probably Joe Mazzulla.
It probably is. So yeah, that's what I personally think happened. I mean, he can't play forever. I mean, but he's playing at such a high level.
I was gonna say, like, he's still got gas in the tank, or at least it seems to. But it's also like, hey, that's a lot of hockey. That's a lot of training, a lot of prep, a lot of everything. Even though it sounds like he kind of does whatever he wants to, like he'll eat crazy stuff before a game.
Dude, so I'm glad you mentioned this.
Yes.
A fun fact, I don't know if this is still true, but I heard this a while back, is that in his water bottle, it's not actually water, it's RC Cola.
No way.
I heard that from somebody who would know. This was like 5 years ago or so, maybe a little bit longer. So I don't know if it's still true.
Maybe it's Diet RC.
Maybe it's Diet RC now, yeah. But I had heard that he drank not water, but RC Cola to fuel him through games.
You know what? I'm going to start doing that before every show so I perform better.
Dude, you're going to perform too well.
I don't know if I can.
I don't think you can. Challenge accepted.
Okay.
Do they even make RC Cola anymore?
Yes. That, oddly enough, sorry, I worked.
See, this is the bowling alley.
I know. Dude, it's exhausting for everybody. But last weekend, I worked college baseball at Globe Life Field.
Yeah.
And there was like an issue with the Coca-Cola machine or the soda machine in the media dining room. So they had to like bring in just a S-load of cans of canned sodas, and one of them was RC Cola.
Dude.
And I had one, and it wasn't that good.
No,
so sorry,
RC
Cola, unless you want to sponsor us, then your product is great, and I love you.
Yes. We will turn S&G to RNC. All right, now it's time to check in with one of our favorite people of all time. Xavier Leggett.
Yes.
Of the Carolina Panthers. We talked about him a lot during the NFL season. Probably could have talked about him even more. But they did this thing where, all these celebrities or athletes go to a hockey game and they're mic'd up. Well, they did it with him, and it turned out amazing.
Hey, you ain't tell me the hockey balls come flying over here, man. Oh, what are you folks going crazy, boy? Hey, yeah, they doing that thing. Boy, he got down there clothesline, boy, right in front of me, boy. What's my boy name from OKC with the Braves? Shea Alexander. He right there. He tough. He's right there. Hell no. This my first time seeing this, boy. Oh, boy. Hey, I'm on the glass.
Dude.
I love him.
I love him too. And like him just freaking out. Like, how many other athletes, how many athletes from other sports do you think have been turned into hockey fans from an experience like this?
Yeah.
So actually bringing that up, I saw Tyler Booker at Future Stars games after we did we showed the thing. I think it's because he saw the podcast, and he probably loves hockey.
Well,
but he went back to a game like just on his own for fun after that.
Dude, that's awesome.
So it's like
we got another one.
It's cool. And like Cooper Beebe was posting that he was at the game, and I don't know if they liked hockey beforehand,
maybe, but still, like there's been an uptick in their presence,
right? And I just thought it was really cool. Like I was walking out, and my boss Harper was like, "See, that's Tyler Booker over there." Like I'd seen him. I think we showed him on the jumbotron again, like without announcing him or whatever, and he just got up and got everybody going again. But it was really cool to see him come back to a game. And just hopefully because he had such a good time at the first one. So now on to the NBA.
Yes.
Where we have the NBA Finals, and it's being called the Paul George NBA Finals because both of these teams and the way that they're currently constructed are the way that they are because of Paul George and trades involving him. And here is Molly Morrison to explain exactly how all that worked.
Two teams are on the verge of winning their first ever ring, and they both have Paul George to thank. At this point, everyone knows the OKC Paul George story. You know, the one where Kawhi said that he would only play for the Clippers if they traded for Paul George. And then the Clippers sent a boatload of picks and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Not only has Shai become the league MVP, but those picks have turned into a key piece in the Thunder getting to the finals. But it's the Pacers Paul George story that makes these finals even more fascinating. Paul George was drafted to Indiana and became an all-star, leading them to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. But after the 2017 season, Paul George wanted to be traded specifically to the Lakers. Indiana said, cute, but no, we're gonna trade you to OKC where we can get the best package back. So the Pacers receive Oladipo and Sabonis for George, and of course, a few years later, they trade Sabonis to the Kings for Tyrese Halliburton. It's literally not an exaggeration to say that Paul George shaped this era of NBA basketball, and the only person without a finals to show for it is Paul George. Cold World.
Oh.
Yeah, man. And yeah, like I sent you an article this morning where that was in The Athletic where it goes even deeper, and it basically started in the summer of 2007 with Steve Kerr sending making a trade
as the GM for
the Suns.
Yeah.
Trading Kurt Thomas.
Yeah.
So they could get under the tax, and let's see, what did it wind up?
So he traded the Phoenix's 2008 and 2010 first round picks along with Thomas' contract, and they got the 24th pick in that draft on Serge Ibaka. So they picked him up, and then after Ibaka's 7th season, and on the draft night of 2016, Presti sent him to the Magic for Oladipo in the 11th pick. He used that draft pick to get Sabonis, and then also obviously brought in Victor Oladipo, and also replacing Ibaka at the same time. And then the following summer, 2017, he traded for Paul George, and he sent Oladipo and Sabonis to the Indiana Pacers, the exact package he received for Ibaka.
Good Lord.
So
and
then that trade is what went to the Clippers for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then all the draft picks that they have. I mean, this team is amazing, and they have all these draft picks in the next 4 or 5 drafts. They have 2 or 3 first-round picks.
Yeah,
it's insane.
And then one of them was used on Jalen Williams. There's just such a ripple effect, butterfly effect, all just because the Suns needed to shed some money nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, and it's also, I was thinking about this on the way over here, actually, is even if the Thunder don't win this year, if the Pacers pull it off, they are set up to be back here over and over and over.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the Mavericks, with Cooper Flagg come in, hopefully, hopefully they can insert themselves in that conversation. But, dude, the Thunder, it's ridiculous how well they're set up for now and in the future.
Yeah, it's something when, when Presti first started doing all that of basically just stockpiling draft picks, everyone was thinking he was nuts or just, what the hell is this guy doing? And, I started as the years went by, obviously, you start to kind of see more and more of his plan. But I remember, reading the NBA subreddit, years ago, and they're like, dude, don't know when, but once the Thunder hit,
Yeah.
they're going to be great for a long time. Like, they might not win a championship every year, but there's not going to be like a rebuilding, a retrenching year. It's just, nope, we're coming back, and, refreshing with, new players, but they're not going to be, in salary cap trouble for a while, because they have so many picks to use and, money to work with and all that. It's fascinating.
Well, and it's like, what if they want to go get a guy like Giannis?
Yeah.
Easy.
Right.
Easy
we're not
for
going to
them.
miss those draft picks.
You've already got, and like they were in such a good spot where they just needed to add a guy like Alex Caruso.
Yeah.
Who's a great defender and a veteran presence. Like, his impact has been crazy on that squad. So, yeah, the Thunder are going to be really good for a really long time. We love shade on this podcast, which is why we love, Bleacher Report reporting that Tyrese Halliburton showed up to Game 6 in an all-black fit, and he also had a duffel bag. And so Ben Stiller said, good thing he brought his duffel for the flight to New York. And then after beating the Knicks in Game 6, Tyrese Halliburton fired back and said, nah, that was to pack y'all up.
Ooh.
So, and it was cool, too. Did you see the pictures of, like, I think it was Halliburton, it was TJ McConnell talking trash to, the whole Knicks front row of celebrities. It was Ben Stiller. It was, Timothy Chalamet and Kendall Jenner, I think is who he's with. And then all these other celebrities.
Yeah.
And TJ McConnell's talking trash to him, running back down the court.
That's got to be such a cool feeling.
Oh my gosh.
And then, he gets to watch their movies later and be like, yeah, I trash talked them.
Yeah. He's be like, Timothy Chalamet was in Dune, right?
Sure.
Whatever he was in, he'd be like,
the Bob Dylan movie
I haven't
that
seen
I still haven't seen.
I haven't seen
Apparently
that
it's good.
Is it?
Maybe we go after your beard trim.
Go see it?
Yeah.
Is it in theaters?
I don't know. Come back here.
Okay. You know what is true and
What?
is a fact is that Tyrese Halliburton plays basketball like Urkel.
Okay.
And here's the video proving it.
Halliburton plays like Steve Urkel when he was dominating that episode of Family Matters.
What the hell? 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 What the hell, Ante? What the hell, on? What the hell, Barry?
Dude, it's...
What the hell, Burton? What the hell, Bron James? What the hell, Cyrus?
Okay. Okay, so to be fair, most of those cuts you could pretty much do with any NBA player, but the celebrations are very Urkel.
But there's some of it too that's I don't know, even the way that he kind of flips the ball up on, it's
Urkel-y.
It's very Urkel-y. It's very Urkel-y. And I just wanted to share that with everybody because
and we appreciate it.
I thought it was important.
It was and is.
You know what else is important? The fact that YDC and Sunset Lounge will be at the Frisco Rough Riders Thirsty Thursday games all season. You'll spot us in the lazy river, sitting in the stands, maybe just wandering in the crowd. Take advantage of our promo code and a preloaded ticket with $6 toward your first Thirsty Thursday drink, or you can use it at the concessions. Go to ridersbaseball.com/specials, almost had a stroke, and use code Let's Ride 25. Quench your thirst on Thirsty Thursdays with YDC and the Sunset Lounge. And this Friday, your dark companion will be taking in Texas Rangers night at Riders Field as Ryans, Grego, and Grubes do a pregame show of sorts from the Bull Moose Saloon.
Hell yeah.
That'll be fun.
That will be.
You gonna sip on some whiskey?
I don't know. I'll be in the Bull Moose Saloon.
You better show up to the Bull Moose Saloon and find out.
Damn right.
What he's sipping on. And if you've been needing to free yourself of pain, anxiety, and sleepless night, and you want to do it naturally, check out CBD House of Healing. They only carry products from their lab, and they're made to meet the highest quality and purity standards. Find your relief from the aches and pains, the emotional stress and drain, and sleep again. Shop online at cbddallas.com or in person and grab a slushie at 8550 Plano Road, Suite 101, Dallas. Begin your healing at the House of Healing.
And we'll see you all there on June 19th.
Yep.
Including you, Shippy.
Yep, I'll be there.
Heck yeah.
June 19th. Book
Us
it.
and Victor Villalba and Shoopy and Yvonne and everybody else.
We're gonna have a party.
Damn right.
I might have another slushie.
Okay. I'm debating.
I'm gonna just see.
As long as I actually know that I'm having it.
Right.
Then
I need them to let me know this time though. Like
what are the contents?
What kind of slushie am I having?
Yes.
You can't tell me after I've chugged it in about 10 minutes.
Because it tastes really good.
Yeah, and like Thirsty Thursday, I'm the thirstiest person out here.
You're so
I'm
thirsty.
I'm always thirsty. I can always drink. So when you give me a slushie, and I will murder that thing, and then you will tell me later, oh yeah, by the way, there was a lot of CBD in there or something.
Delta 9 and not Delta 8.
And I was like, huh?
There's a difference.
I was like speaking Spanish. I was like, well, Delta 9? What are you saying?
It messed you up.
I was messed up. I don't know what.
Maybe not messed up, but
I was very relaxed.
Yes. We were in a different headspace than we maybe expected to be.
We definitely didn't expect to be there.
Yes.
But I had a great time.
Oh, yeah. It was a great time.
I look forward to June 19th.
Yeah.
So we will see you out there on June 19th. And you know what? No matter what emotion I felt, I never felt Surrender Cobra moment at House of Healing. I felt great the whole time. And then yesterday we had a big comeback in Texas Tech OU softball. OU, I believe, is the number 2 ranked team in the nation. Not sure about Texas Tech, but I heard it was a big upset.
Yes.
And here is an all-time Surrender Cobra moment. And if you can read lips, don't.
Softball history! The Raiders storm to the championship series!
That's just incredible.
No, it's that'll be a meme.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably in the GIF librry on Twitter.
Yeah,
X
if it's
already.
not, it will be soon.
It'll
but
be in there very quickly.
That is an all-timer, and yeah, just God, I love the Surrender Cobra.
Me too. And so Texas Tech was the 12 seed or 12 ranked. I'm not sure, but either way. Oh wait, maybe we got our OU expert Yvonne here.
We actually had a watch party at my house.
Oh man,
my cousin.
Thanks for the invite.
My cousin, his daughter, is she's going into 8th grade, big into softball. She's been playing her whole life and whatever. So she's been all about OU. I'm a big OU fan.
Yep.
We're watching this and that. Obviously, my cousin, trying to be a pain to me and to his daughter, was just rooting on for Tech. Tech just got this pitcher that became the first millionaire when she transferred out of Alabama. So she just got this record deal, and I mean the girl's a beast. Like, I'm an OU fan, but I mean the girl's doing her thing. The girl's like this huge girl just throwing heat down, and it was a good game. And then they tied it up in the 7th inning. OU hits a home run, brings 2 in. The game is tied 2-2, and then Tech comes up to bat and ends up winning it in the 7th.
Dude.
Well, you set it up better than I ever can. So here's the clip of what happened.
That's why we love Yvonne.
Allred's first pitch swinging into right. Barker loads up. Davis to the plate. Save! Texas Tech has done it!
Did
I'm sorry.
Did they just not play the 8th and the 9th? What's going on here?
Yeah, they play 7 innings.
No.
But yeah, I love that they still included that in their official tweet.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Is that
cut
from
that
ESPN?
out.
I believe. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, dude,
wow,
that's
this
awesome.
This is their debut in the Women's College World Series.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Congratulations to them. That's seriously awesome.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Even without the meme, that's awesome. But the meme
helps.
Makes it even better.
Yeah, the meme helps a lot. We're a big fan of shade and memes on here.
Yes.
So we've got another clip here where the pitcher hits a clump of dirt that flew off her cleat during the pitch, and it explodes.
Yeah, it's weird.
Hang on. Something's going on with Cox's eye.
Oh, what?
Wait a minute.
It went from her cleat, and the ball hit it off of her cleat.
Are you kidding me?
At first, I thought it was off of the ball, and I was thinking she would have felt that, but that dirt came off of her cleat. And then
Yeah,
man.
that is crazy.
Dude.
I don't know what the odds are in something like that happening, but that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Like, I don't know if the mound was just a little extra clumpy that day or what, but like,
yeah,
it basically, it flew off her cleat, managed to time out to hit for her pitch to hit it, and then just basically just all exploded into the catcher's face.
She could not do that again.
No.
If she tried.
No, probably not.
Maybe she had some beef with her catcher.
That would be an incredible way to be like...
She goes, you know
"All
what?
right, yeah.
We got this 3-0 count. I think it's because you've been calling the wrong pitches.
Yeah. Here's some revenge.
Here's some dirt in your face.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I just thought that was neat when I saw it on the
No,
tweets.
that is like...
because that's incredibly low chance of that happening.
Yeah. Now we're moving on to... I'm not a big TikTok guy, but I'm trying to learn it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very intrigued by this and sent it to you immediately when I found out that this... Okay, so this is the first place that I saw was Commanders, I believe he's a cornerback, Mike Sanderstil. He started calling his teammates to tell them good night. And this is a TikTok trend that's taken over, and I think it's hilarious.
Yo, bro.
Yo.
This is ZB.
CB. Actually, not never mind. Yeah. So I'm gonna just see you tomorrow, bro. I was just kind of say goodnight.
Bro, what the You straight, dog?
Huh?
Bro, you good?
What you mean?
You usually call to say goodnight.
Like, bro, good night, bro. You my dog, bro. I'm just checking in real quick.
I just talked to you 5 minutes ago.
I know that, but when, like, I say good night, bro. Like, sleep well, bro. Bro, I can't tell my homies, like, sleep well, bro. Get good rest.
Hey, bro. Bro, I don't know what type of shenanigans you're on right now, bro. But you're at the real bonkers right now.
Bonkers?
Yes.
Bro.
What up, fool?
Yo.
Yo.
What you doing, bro?
I'm chilling, gang.
Tight.
What's happening, fool?
Nah, bro. I'm cool, bro. I was just calling to say good night, though.
Good night.
All right, man. I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
What you got going on, man? Yo.
Steez.
What's up, bro?
What's the word, my boy?
Just laying in bed, man. Going to bed.
Bro. Nah, yeah. I'm getting ready for bed, too. I was just calling to say good night, bro.
Bro, you didn't take that shit.
What are you talking about?
Hey, man, I appreciate you calling me. I'm glad I made the list. You guys go add me on Snapchat. I'm Mike Sarasot's favorite. 1, 2, 3. Ray Hale, Jade Daniels for president. Mike Sarasot for defensive player of the year. Summer, you're awesome.
Dude.
That is such a great bit.
It really is. And like, it's just, I mean, because I don't know how I would react too if that happened. I'd be like, I think it would depend on who called me.
Yeah, and
But, like,
how late in the night.
Right.
And, like, if it's before 10, I think that wouldn't be too unusual. Like, there wouldn't be, like, I'd probably have a little bit of a sense of panic.
Yeah.
If I was getting a call from someone after about 10.
Right.
Unless I knew it was someone that just parties all the time, like you.
Yeah, fair.
Or me.
Or you.
I might call myself. But if it was like, just another friend, like if Yvonne was to call, that, I feel like you usually keep reasonable hours and all that. And also, we frankly don't talk on the phone a ton. Like, if all of a sudden you were calling at 10 or 11 at night and then just to say goodnight, I would be so confused.
Well, it's like...
I'd be happy to hear from you, to be clear, but I would be very confused.
Well, like, I was thinking, like, that guy was like, I'm in bed, like, trying to go to sleep. Like, that would wake me up before I was trying to go to sleep. I'd be like, Dude, you just called me to say goodnight?
Yeah.
That's it? Like, you know how many I've gone to sleep all these other times without hearing from you. It's a good TikTok trend.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I've never done one myself, but
No.
that would be like the closest one that I think that I would try, but
Yeah.
everybody
That's definitely something I could see you doing, but
yeah.
also not doing.
Real quick, before we move on to some other topics, we got to fit this audio in about our King, Jameis Winston.
Yes.
This is Mark Ingram talking about a former speech that Jameis Winston once gave.
You get locked in a room with Jameis Winston for 24 hours. You have to try not to laugh.
It's
if
not
you
possible.
do it successfully,
It's not possible.
you're not doing it.
It's not possible.
What's the craziest thing he ever said to you?
To me,
We heard he gave a speech before the game. It was a prayer that ended in the Monday night theme song. I was like, I don't know how.
he started a prayer like, dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. They start saying a prayer. It's just a walking meme. And the thing is, like, people think like he's like faking it. No, he is 1,000 authentically being himself genuinely. Like who you see on them interviews, who you see before the game getting interviewed talking about the horse is prepared for battle, but victory is in the Lord. Like, that is him.
Oh my God, he's the best.
Dude, he really is. And God, where did he end up with the Jets? I mean, the Giants?
Yeah, with
That's
the
what I meant,
Giants. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like it is kind of awesome that he's going to be in New York now.
Oh my God, more
With
cameras
that media
and stuff.
Oh, yeah, like he's not going to wilt under the pressure of the New York media, hounds.
No, I very much look forward to hearing more, and him being in the NFC East will be easier for us to get to that
Yes.
audio and see.
Oh
it.
yeah.
So very much looking forward to that. Thank you to the Giants
Yeah,
for signing.
this is great for us.
One thing that's not great is something that you're dealing with. You've got a bit of a gnat situation, I believe.
Yeah, like living in where we are, I think just overall like Dallas.
Yeah.
Just the humidity and all that tends to attract gnats or fruit flies, which I think they're the same thing, but I don't know for sure because I'm not a doctor. Either way, like, yeah, we at our place tend to have streaks of gnats just showing up, and it usually tends to be when it's kind of these conditions where it's a little more humid. Rain, I think, is happening at some point on this day, Tuesday, that we're recording, where, we are definitely noticing more and more, like, I'm sure when you and Yvonne walked in, you felt a strong smell of apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
Because we are trying to set little traps, and Darcy's apparently buying some other stuff that might help. We have the, little light things that, emit like a blue light, but have like the sticky back to them.
Yeah.
That attracts some of the gnats, but still, like, even with all the traps we're setting, like throughout this show, I'm still seeing them fly by your face, and
I've dodged a few.
You've dodged a few successfully, thankfully, because we don't want a gnat to fly into your pretty face. But yeah,
it might be in my beard.
It might be. Yeah, you go to the hairstylist
like,
or the salon, and all of a sudden it's not a bunch of birds, it's just a bunch of gnats.
Yeah.
I don't really have a ton of much else to say on just having gnats in the house. It's just kind of annoying. Like, thankfully they don't really do anything, but it did make me think of my future mother-in-law, Darcy's mom, Gloria, who is amazing and I love her. But apparently for pretty much her whole life, she has not known how to pronounce the word gnat.
How do you pronounce it?
At some point, I believe when
Gnat?
You're close. When Darcy was a kid, apparently it was the first time she'd really said it in front of her husband Mike, Darcy's dad. But she apparently said something like, "Oh man, there's so many G-Nats in the house."
G-Nats is even better.
Yes, and for I guess whatever it's worth, like Gloria's family is Mexican, but like she speaks Spanish, but like she's from here. She's gone to school, speaking English, all that, all her life.
I think there's a GNAT on your mic.
I just saw a GNAT on my mic.
That's a GNAT.
But yeah, like that is still like I remember the first time Darcy said, and she didn't think anything of it. Darcy just said it to me, like, "Oh, there's a GNAT in your apartment or something." I'm like, "A what?" It's like, "Oh, that's how my mom says it, and we, that's how we all say it now." And so, that then led me to, trying to think if there's other words that now that you know how to pronounce them, that you've pronounced wrong or whatever. Like for me, even something like the name Andrea. Like I've got a few people in my life that are all named Andrea and they all pronounce it Andrea, but my instinct is still to say Andrea.
Yeah.
Little things like that where, and this might not have been a great, on the spot type of discussion, but I also kind of love this sort of stuff where it's like, there's no reason to, say it a certain way because in theory you should have heard it correctly somewhere along the way.
You would think.
But there's just certain, whether it's because of the way you were raised, where you're from, whatever, that just certain words, just even if you've read them a million times and probably seen them in the dictionary, you just have never quite heard them the right way or said them the right way.
So I didn't realize it was a crayon until I was like 20-something. I've been calling them crowns.
Yeah.
Those are crowns. They're like, a what? I was like, crown.
Yeah.
You color with crowns.
Yeah. Or like,
no, it's a crayon. I'm like, huh? No, it's a crown.
Yeah. Or like,
I blamed it to my ESL because I grew up, when I started school, I only knew Spanish, right?
Mm-hmm.
My parents were very big into like me learning Spanish. So they're both fluent in English, but only talk to me in Spanish.
Mm.
So there's certain words that my girl makes fun of me till today. I guess I say, I'm gonna be a little bit more, Mortal Kombat. I say Mortar Kombat.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's not bad, but
and
so
then motorcycle, I say motorcycle, and she says that sounds weird.
I think
I get clowned on all the time.
I think that's wrong because I say stuff the same way where it's like I'm just kind of speeding through the word.
Yeah, where everybody knows what
you
you're
know what
saying.
I'm saying. I don't have to say motorcycle. It's motorcycle,
right?
Like
it's saying to instead of to.
Right, or like
we're going to the movies.
Right. Now there's other words. I mean, it's like you bringing this up is right in my wheelhouse because I don't know how to pronounce a lot of stuff. Like I was calling them steak frites for the longest time.
And what is it? Frites?
It's frites.
Yeah.
Nobody told me. And
but it's always just on a
frites,
menu.
Please. And it wasn't until a time like a year or two ago that the lady was like, steak frites? And I said, is that how you say that? She's like, yeah, that's how. I was like, I appreciate you for being the first person in my life to tell me I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
That's awesome.
But no, I wish I could think of more, but
I've got another, sorry.
No, you're good.
My dad says wash instead of wash.
Wash?
Like, wash your hair.
Wash your
hair.
hair.
I think that's a very southern thing.
Yeah.
Like the window.
Yeah.
Window?
The windowsill?
The windowsill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how. I'd probably say windowsill.
Jerry Jones says that. The window.
Yeah. And curtains.
And I think that's like especially, I mean, I guess my mom's side too. My dad's side definitely is like more country. So I was raised like hearing stuff. It was a crown, not a crayon. Like, why would I add a syllable when I can say it in one?
But it's like you know how to spell it.
I know how to spell it. Yeah,
right.
Cryon, crown.
Yeah, and just like I would assume, Gloria knows how to spell Nat, and that's why she says it that way. It's just GNAT.
I love that.
It's amazing.
I didn't know where that was going, but it went somewhere way more incredible. Because now all I can think of is GUNet.
Yeah. So thank you, Mimi, for providing us some content.
Yes, thank you, Mimi. We appreciate that. Now we've got a couple other things here. If we want to talk about, I feel like we need to talk about the calendar thing.
Okay.
Because we were talking about this. I don't even know how this came up before the show, but we were talking about like summer plans and just how we list things in our calendar, I guess. And I just mentioned that I had in my calendar, I think in July maybe or in August. But I was looking at this yesterday. It's in August.
Okay.
On August 18th, season's over. I'm looking at my calendar. All it says is wedding. And like, I was looking at it and I was like, am I in the wedding? Is this a wedding I'm going to? Am I DJing a wedding?
Are you the best man?
Am I the best man? Who could know?
Right.
I mean, all I know is that there's a wedding that's maybe at 7 p.m. That's the time it says in my calendar.
Which, as we discussed also, like generally the way Google and Apple calendars work is the default time is whatever time that you are actually writing in. So like right now, we're recording this at 11:25. So if I were to try to add something to my calendar right now, it'd probably either show 11:25 or round up to 11:30.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that this is a damn mid-afternoon wedding, and you've got it at 7 o'clock.
Well, there is a very good chance of that. And I like because I always look at my gigs because it's normally like Theory or Christie's or House of Healing on the 19th. Like I have all my stuff in there very like specifically, and it's typically it's very detailed. But this one, for some reason, I just wrote wedding, and that was it. But I did find out before the show. I sent a few text messages, and I searched my messages for August, whatever it was, and I am maybe working a wedding on that day. So
you still don't even know?
They sent a proposal. They're waiting to hear back.
Oh,
we got some
time. How long
time.
ago did they send the proposal?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's another thing I think.
They're
maybe
following up today.
That might be another thing that we have to get into maybe a little more in depth next time is how you handle email and text. Because I think you know me well enough. Like I'm pretty quick about responding to texts and emails because I know that if I don't, I'm not going to get to it. Like if I saw that you sent me a text and I open it but I don't respond, you're probably going to have to be the one that follows up again.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're very much the same way because I know that there are times where we are, trying to schedule shows or just having, a little conversation about something, and I won't hear anything from you for like 2 days.
Yeah, and it's the exact same thing where I read it, and I'm like, I need to respond to that. I put my phone down, I do whatever I'm doing, and then that just goes to the wayside.
I'm not saying that you're alone in this because I'm very much the same way because I think we're both like, okay, if we're in the middle of something, we still have that instinct to want to check our phone just in case it's something super timely or important or whatever. But then it's like, okay, if it's not, it's like, okay, I can respond, in an hour or so. Like I'm going to finish cleaning. I'm going to finish, editing some audio. I'm going to finish whatever. Because you also know that if you distract yourself with the thing that just distracted you, you're not going to remember the thing that you were initially working on.
I'm so glad you understand how my brain works because
I'm not happy about it.
That is how my brain works. Like I can't forget about the thing I'm already working on, but have the other thing that I need to get to. It's just so confusing, man.
I know. Like
it's a lot.
Yeah, and it's, believe me, something with Darcy is still very much having to figure out how to handle dating a golden retriever because she'll tell me one thing and I'll be so ready to do that, like, picking up her kid or, getting something from Target or whatever. But if she adds another task, oh my gosh.
Yeah, right, because you were ready to do that.
Yeah, and then I'll do that thing that she told me to do, but then I won't do the thing that I was initially going to do, and I won't remember what I was supposed to do because maybe I didn't put it in my calendar.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, dude, I try to navigate this as best I can because, like, I will put, stuff on my calendar and then set it to send a notification to my email that this is happening or whatever, or, Google Docs, of just groceries or whatever, even if it's 3 things that I'm going for. If it's, if we're almost every week, buying typical, like, say, strawberries, milk, cereal, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I know that at some point during a week, I'm getting that. I go to a grocery store, might as well have just not even been told. Or
do you make a note though? Like,
yes,
I have to.
Even like in, I've got, the app for the store that I shop from because I'm not going to say their name because they're not giving us money yet.
I agree with that.
But, I'll do like a literal grocery list, create a cart. And this app has store mode where it can tell that you're in the damn building.
Yeah.
And it'll help you knock off your list. But I don't think to open the damn thing.
Wow.
Because I'm looking at my dock instead. Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I'm the same way, dude. Like in the grocery store for me, what typically would take somebody 15 minutes, I'm in there for an hour probably.
Yeah.
Because like I'm like looking for these very specific things. I'm like, bro, how do you know where to look? Like there's so many aisles, and like sometimes they have it on like a different aisle where you didn't think it would be.
Right.
It's just very confusing.
Or just like I distracted myself from starting my shopping because when I pretty much as soon as I walked in, I saw a frog balloon that is actually down in the stairwell as you were walking up. And I was like, oh, that's cute. Darcy and Granger will love that. And then I had to remember, oh, crap, what am I buying?
Yeah.
What am I actually buying?
But at least you got the frog balloon.
Hey, that made it home.
You got what mattered most.
There might have been a couple things I'll have to go back for today, though.
But will there be a frog balloon still?
There were at least 5 left when I was leaving.
There was probably 7 left before the 2 people walked in right before you.
Right.
They were going quick, man.
They were.
They were going quick.
Hot item.
They were a very hot item. What's up?
Trying to figure out if we have time for this last thing. The over-explaining.
Yvonne?
Which I feel like the irony would be that we would over-explain and cause Yvonne to be late for his... Okay.
Okay. We'll over-explain
signing your own death
you.
warrant.
So, I forget how this came up too now that we're...
It doesn't matter.
But basically we were talking about how, my friend in a group chat, like he likes to over-explain every single thing he does. I'm not in a lot of group chats, but I'm in one for Call of Duty just to get enough people on to play the game.
Sure.
So you need 4 people or else it's a nightmare trying to play with randoms. So we're in this group chat for pretty much that and memes. And, typically someone will say, I can't get on. I'm busy. I'm at work, whatever. We have this one guy who we always give him a hard time because he'll list out like in a paragraph his entire day and why he can't spend 2 hours with us on Call of Duty. And so I find myself, and we were talking about it, I think you guys do the same thing. If I'm talking with somebody like a boss or a friend that I have to cancel something with or anything, if I'm going to have to cancel something where I'm like, man, are they going to think that I'm not really...
Yeah, am I a flake now?
Right.
Are they, pissed or,
I will over-explain the crap out of it.
Yes.
Like, I will do what my friend does to say, hey, I'm not getting on Call of Duty. I will do that to let you know, look, like, hey, this has happened, this happened, this happened. I'm so sorry. But then, like, I think about it, I'm like, does that over-explaining make you seem more like you're... are covering something up?
Or that it's just who cares. Like, this actually reminds me of something that happened nearly a year ago. One of the first Your Dark Companions I worked on, we had Pugs on. He's a longtime radio guy and all that. I've known him casually at the least
Catcher
for a
the
while.
Rangers.
Yeah. Pugs Rodriguez. But like something happened where I wound up having to leave before that show started.
Okay.
And I started to explain that to Pugs, and he was basically just like, I don't care. Like, go. I was like, oh my God. Like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Just be like, hey, I can't do this thing. Like, once people get into doing that thing, they're generally not going to be thinking, even as pleasant as we both are, oh man, I wish Shippy was here. I wish Grubes was here. I'm really pissed. It's like, if it's everybody cancels, that's different.
Right.
But if it's just like, hey, something came up, I can't make the party. I can't make this. Like, you try to give the heads up and it's a courtesy and all that. But yes, I definitely feel though that need, and I still do. Even after Pugs saying that, I thought it would hopefully change the way I think.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like, oh, well, I got to do this. I don't know if, this is going to cooperate with, the timing of this. And I just, I'm sorry I can't do it. It's, but I could just say, I'm sorry I can't do it.
Right.
Or, as I read somewhere, no is a complete sentence.
And you know what this brings me back to is when we used to work at Bally together, and I used to tell you, like, hey, like, if I need to get a shift covered or if I can't work an event, like, I would always over-explain to them, be like, hey, I'm sorry, I got this. And you were like, no, just tell them, no, I'm not available. Like, so it was something even work-related, like...
Yeah, and it's like, look, it's still an instinct I have, like, even when I was with Bally, there would still be like I still had that instinct.
Right.
And it's one of those, do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
Because I know that I'm still guilty of it, but especially for newcomers, even if most of the people there or whatever, it's okay to just say, "Hey, I'm not available."
Right.
They'll figure it out.
They'll be fine. Yeah.
Right. And unless it's just like a true emergency, then maybe you can say, "Look, I'm sorry, I still can't do it. Like, I acknowledge that this is an emergency for you, but I have this going on. I can't back out of this."
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's generally just you don't need to say you're sick if you're, working a job that has, sick days or what you're sick with.
Right.
It's like, hey, I'm sick. Hopefully they don't catch me at the movies later.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. No, I find myself like doing that a lot, over explaining stuff. And I've tried to get better at it, but it's like, I don't know, like it's what I tell them is what's happening. It's like,
right. Where it's like, it's all factual.
Right.
But yeah, you feel, I think you and I both also, being golden retrievers, want people to like us. And, frankly, with the jobs we've had and all that, we've had, a bit more public acknowledgement than most people get. And it's a nice feeling to feel liked and all that. And so I think that kind of carries over, especially for us, of like, there's that extra pressure of, oh, well, Grubes didn't show up, Shippy didn't show up. Like,
right.
It's not just, Bill.
Right.
That
no offense to Bill.
I don't like Bill.
Oh, really?
But yeah, but where it's, Bill is,
right.
Just some person that's, just
no,
there.
No,
like, don't know him, doesn't do anything,
it's just an added pressure probably from ourselves, like
right,
internally.
People still don't care.
Right. And it's also like,
and especially once we show up, they're like, oh man, I wish they hadn't shown up.
Yeah, right. It's probably the golden retriever in us too. Like you're saying, like you want to say yes to everything. You want to be there. You want to have fun, whatever. But like realistically, you can't always do that.
No,
whether it's your schedule or just your need for sleep.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need time for yourself, Shippy.
I've slept a lot since the season.
I believe it. Yeah, and that's where
a lot. Like,
I definitely was trying not to text you too much about things or call where I was like, I know the dude is probably just, you kind of still have some of that energy maybe the first day.
A little bit,
and then it just hits you at some point where you're just like, I need to not talk to anyone or listen to any music or whatever for a while.
Exactly where I've been. Like people have been trying to get in touch with me, and I'm like, it's not personal. I'm sorry. I just need to relax and chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to decompress.
Yeah, it's like we've talked about before, just personally, like the jobs that you have are a lot of stimulation.
Yeah.
A lot of stimulation. And, especially when you're the one handling other people's stimulation.
Yeah.
You're even more invested. It's a lot to take on. And, it's nothing serious when it all comes down to it, but it does matter. And it's your job and it's important to you and to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff that all of a sudden, once it's done, it's like, holy crap.
Well, it's so weird, like when I'm even getting ready for the show or like just waking up, like not waking up to like, oh God, I got to check my email. I got to make sure,
right.
Like, what have I missed? What did somebody email me this morning?
Yeah,
like,
did one of our bosses come up with a really cool idea that all of a sudden is going to be an extra couple hours of work, which isn't that big a deal, but all of a sudden it's like, oh, like I don't have as relaxing, as a pre-show a pregame as I expected.
Right.
Like, there's a new project that I got to work on that, I want to make sure is great.
Yeah.
Because 18,000 people are going to be judging me.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been, I'm definitely enjoying the first couple of days of the off season and, sleeping, and I'm sorry for not responding to that text because
like I said,
I think I was sleeping in a coma.
Yeah.
Because I also had a daytime gig the other day outside.
Right. Yeah.
And I went home and like people were like, dude, come out, like let's go out. I'm like, dude, I just want to sleep, man. Like I just want to sleep. Yeah.
So I totally get it, man. But I'm sad the season is officially over for both of your teams, but I'm glad from a personal standpoint because I know that it's a long season. As fun as it all is, as awesome as it is, as much of a privilege as it is to get to do it, I know that feeling of just needing to decompress when it does finally end.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to next season's already. Like, it's weird seeing like empty.
There's probably already little
dates.
ideas that you got or whatever.
Oh
so,
yeah. Yeah, for sure. So looking forward to running it back next year, and hopefully one or maybe both the teams can win a title next year.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. Well, I think we've said all we can say today.
I think we did. I think that's enough.
I think that is enough.
That is enough.
That is enough. We don't need to over-explain why we're stopping the show right now.
Well, it's because we've just talked for more than an hour.
Yeah.
And if Yvonne's got to go,
yeah,
I've got to get. I've got to pick up the kid.
Beard trim
you got a haircut. Like, we've all got stuff to do.
We would love to keep talking to you if possible.
I'm sorry, guys.
We have to go. We're really sorry. Yeah. Episode 41 is over. Thank you to Yvonne. Thank you to Ashley. Thank you to Shippy. I'm Shippy.
I'm Grubes. I'm really sorry, guys.
We have to get out of here. We're really sorry for ending the show right now.
We got to go. Yvonne is literally taking his pants off. Yeah. He's that stressed about all this.
Yeah, and
that's his.
I'm stressed too.
Yeah.
We got to go. Thank you, Dirk.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you, Stolen Media. We got to go.
Yeah, and Shippy fumbled that because he was trying to get us out of here. We're so sorry. Like, this show means a lot to us.
I need to decompress.
The company means a lot to us. But we got to go.
Thirsty Thursday.
House of Healing.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.